Hi. Recently, I was talking with a customer who wanted to isolate interesting tidbits of information from call transcripts. And it dawned upon me that this problem is across the board. When you have unstructured data, whether it is description in a case, related emails that may have been sent out, right? It may be case comments, it may be opportunities, call transcripts, meeting notes, other kind of emails and activities that are logged. There is a problem. We can't use business intelligence to identify interesting things on that unstructured data. And this is where LLMs come in. They're really great at inferring information out of unstructured data. So what I'm going to show you today is how you can surface up interesting pieces of information and then use them to search across records and pull up relevant items. So we are going to look at the role of Salesforce topic, which is a feature out of the box available in your Salesforce org, and think of it as a hashtag on a social media. That's the kind of utilization it has. So I'm going to use GPTfy. I have a prompt that's pre-built here. Very quickly, GPTfy is an AppExchange security approved product. It's a bring your own model product, runs in your org, connects to your LLM. You don't need to buy Agentforce or Data Cloud or anything else to use it. All right. With that out of the way, I'm going to click on this. Now, what this is doing is pulls all this data, sends it to LLM, gets a response back, and tags it here, right? So you can see I have these hashtags that GPTfy identified. For this case, they are based on prompt. So my prompt is really saying, look at all this information and identify interesting tidbits of data, which are around operations. So medical claims is an example of that, right? Which are around customer sentiment. So like customer frustration is one of them and so on, right? So we have identified all these hashtags. Now, if I refresh this page right now, what you will see is that all of these are now tagged as topic on this case record. What that means is I can actually go into, say, claims processing, and everything in Salesforce that is tagged with claims processing would show up. In this case, there is only one record. And the beauty of topics is, like I mentioned, it's an out-of-the-box feature, and it can work across objects. So this is the kind of reporting you actually cannot do in Salesforce except by using topics. And what I mean by that is you can basically pull up completely unrelated objects that just happen to share the same hash. And it's a great way to look across the board at, let's say you have a New York office and you're like, give me all the content that talks about New York office, right? And then all of a sudden you're seeing opportunities, meeting notes, cases, whatever else that term came up. If you have a product, you can isolate a lot of these records by product and look at them. You can do the same by region, by customer, by operational issues, right? So payment, refund, return, RMA, things like that. You can isolate things based on compliance type guidelines. So HIPAA, FINRA, things like that. The point is you have a ton of capability that you can bring to bear using existing features in your good old Salesforce, like topics. Two things very quickly about topics. One, you can apply topics on almost all the objects. There are certain ones that do not support it, but in general, it works pretty well. There is a limit of 100 topics per record. So that's the only limit. The other part that's really interesting about topics is topics are stored in a separate object. So you now have the ability to pull information from topics that are mapped to records and take it to your BI system. Now you can do all kind of slicing, dicing, trend analysis, whatever else you want to do based on a particular topic. So essentially, it's the same data. Now you have added a ton of new facets to it, right? You have effectively enriched your data by having LLM surface up things that may be relevant to your business users, your compliance, your tech, your operational users. And now they have yet another ability that you can offer them very inexpensive. Like you can have literally something like this working in a matter of days. Very curious to hear what you're seeing and if you've used topics and any comments you may have. Again, GPTfy is Salesforce AppExchange product. We can help you get up and running with generative AI very quickly and have you do interesting things like these if you're for it. Let me know. Thank you so much.